Welcome my bros to a new video. My name is Venowyrm, but you can call me as Marco, and in today's video we will talk about Dragoncraft, but not specific about Dragoncraft. We will talk about Disdain Dragon, because Disdain Dragon, like you can see with Galmieux from BP05, just came out 2 weeks ago. Let's go over the deck. We will start with 3 copies of Galmieux, Omen of Disdain. She's a cost 5 follower, what we need in the deck, because everything around the deck works with her. She has 5/5 and her effect is, if she gets damaged by an effect, what we have a lot, like Total Domination, Disdainful Rendering, our Servant of Disdain, and Disciple of Disdain. This card needs to pre-damaged, since if she has damaged once, she can evolve for free. Speaking of evolve, we play 3 copies of the evolve version, because this card is insane. First off, on evolve, we can take a cost 2 or less Omen card from our drop and play it for free. That can be card like our followers or our spells. And whenever this card gets damaged by an effect, we can deal 3 damage to an enemy follower or the enemy leader. Quick ruling fun fact: even if this card dies by the effect damage, it's important during your turn, of course. The effect still triggers. So Galmieux is a very strong card, and I love this card to play. It helps a lot. Your opponent thinks like, okay, I have to get rid of the card, and that's the main point of this card. We want to pressure the opponent by our burn damage. She has also good stats with 6/6, so she lives like 2 spells, 3 spells. That's pretty good. The next card is Dark Dragoon 40. We play 3 copies of her because she's amazing. 4 cost, 5/1 storm, and Evo cost 2, and that's our main reason. We play 2 copies of the evolved version, what has 7/3 storm and aura, so she can't be targeted by effects. That's so good. I love this card. It's our main finisher if we are in range. It helps a lot. Then we play 3 copies of Apostle of Disdain. Apostle of Disdain, very strong card. She has 3 cost, and whenever she gets damaged, she gets 1 attack. So, and also storm, of course. This card can be very scary in the late game to finish the game off, because she can get pretty big, and if your opponent has no removal for her, easiest game of our life. We have also the evolved form of her as Dwarf in the evolved deck. Her effect is, on evolve, discard 1. Look at the top 5 cards and search up to 2 Omen cards and take them to the hand. The rest goes to the bottom. And of course, the same effect whenever damage +1 and get storm. So she can get bigger and bigger, helps us to search out a lot of cards. We play actually 18 Omen in the deck, so we have 17 targets at least. -1 of course, because from 18, yeah, you know. So this card is insane. Of course, we play 3 copies of our best friend, Knuckle Dragon. This card helps us to get some removal by effect, because he has also an evolved form. But the main reason why we play this card is he gives us some Draconic Weapon. Draconic Weapon, we can crack this one and give 1 other follower the armor trait and +1 health. So pretty nice. We get some more opportunities to deal specific cards like Galmieux, for example, or our Apostle some damage, and have more reason to do it. We played 2 copies of the evolved version. The evolved version, like I said, does up to 4 damage Usually it's 2, but if we control another armored follower, it's 4 damage. The next card is Prime Dragon Keeper, or for short, PDK. PDK, amazing card. This card gets on overflow +1/+1 and intimidate, so she can't be attacked. But the main reason why we play this card is whenever a cost 3 or less Dragoncraft follower is played, select an enemy follower, deal 2 damage and then 1 damage to the enemy leader. And we play a lot of 3 cost or less, so this card helps us a lot to get rid of the opponent's board and also damage the opponent. The ruling of the effect is if the opponent has no follower, we can't deal damage. But still, this card is insane, helped me a lot of games. The next card is Servant of Disdain. His effect is Fanfare on overflow. Select one other card on the field, deal 1 and then deal 1 to him. And whenever he gets damaged by an effect, draw a card. He gives us some draw. He helps us to damage Galmieux if we are on 7. So insane good card. You can also try to play 2 copies of him if you want to play some other cards in the deck. But I prefer him on 3 after playtesting, because some of the other people think, okay, Servant, his damage effect is only on overflow. I can understand the argument, but 3 is a good ratio, trust me. Then we come to some draw and recycle. We played 2 copies of Dragon Tamer, Evolve 1, and on Fanfare, draw a card, discard a card. She helps to get some draw, get also some Omen cards in the drop. For Galmieux, her effect, for example, because sometimes we don't have the play points or the reason to play the spells out. For example, Total Domination is a board wipe, so we don't need always to get damage on a whole board, so just discard it and save it for later. Why do I play the Evolve? It's a one-off. On Evolve, discard 1 and search out 1 Wyrmkin in your drop and take to the hand. Basically, every single card in our deck is a Wyrmkin. Our Omen cards, our Dragoncraft. So we can take every card back and have fun with it. Especially it's good if you have a Galmieux in the drop. You can take her back because we want to have always a Galmieux. Then I will play 2 copies of Aqua Narrate. She has on Fanfare summon a Megalorca token. It's a 2 cost with 2/2 and triggers also PDK, and she helps to get us some ward. And of course, if overflow is active, the Megalorca gets stormed. There's some reason to play this. Of course, we need some ward. Then we don't run Bellringer because of Fina. Fina gets played more and more in decks, so they can get rid of your Bellringer easily. Just take this card. Of course, the card has 1 more cost, but gives us a follower and triggers with PDK. Then our last follower, Disciple of Disdain. We can act him and deal 1 damage to another follower. So Galmieux, Apostle, Servant, and get benefit of it. It's a cost 1, so easy. I love this card. This card came very good in all the tests. Let's talk about spells. We will play 3 copies of Serpent Wrath. 3 cost, 5 damage to a follower. If overflow is active, draw a card. And it's also a quick spell. It's so helpful. I love this card. But I recommend don't use this card on a Galmieux, because Galmieux still damage you, man. Of course, it's not a Dragoncraft deck. If we don't play Dragon Oracle, 3 copies, 2 cost, choose a effect, draw a card, or get 1 empty play point. So we ramp. In the first 4 or 5 turns, we want to ramp, but after we in overflow, you don't need to ramp. Then take the draw. Here comes the mansion, Total Domination. It's a 2-cost spell what deals 2 damage to one of our followers and then deals 2 to the enemy follower on board. So we can deal 2 damage to the whole board of the enemy, but if we control a Galmieux, deal 4 instead. Easy. Most of the follower are dead. Of course 5 damage will be better, but we take what we can take. This card is insane. And also this card is one of our preferred target with Galmieux, for example, if the opponent has some follower on board. But Disdainful Rendering is also an option. Talking about Disdainful Rendering. This card is a cost 1. We select one of our follower and deal 3 to the enemy follower. It's a good card, cost 1, very useful, so of course a free off. Last but not least, we play 3 copies of Blazing Breath. Cost 1 quick, deal 2 damage to an enemy follower. If Overflow is active, deal 4 instead. Very helpful, can save a game, trust me. And that's my Disdain Dragon. If you like the video, feel free to subscribe, and of course, we will see us in the next one. Bye!